pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order. First item of business is election of 2024 officers and appointments.
I'll make the motion that we keep them all the same.
I second it. Motion to keep the same, a second. Are there any other motions? Any other motions?
One more time.
Any other motions?
Don't sound like it.
Bueller.
Make a motion to close the nomination.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Sorry, gavel small.
Yep, I wanted to. Um. All right, so. We're gonna maintain the current appointments.
Keep everything
Yep.
the same.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Did everyone get a chance to look at the meeting minutes from December 19th? Any corrections? Updates? Questions? They'll approve, stand approved as written.
Yeah, they're there.
The treasurer report and the clerk's reports. We
If only,
received yesterday.
yeah, and just need acknowledgement on that.
Consider it acknowledged. Huh?
You got a pen?
Yeah. Department reports? No, I'm good. This is perfect.
All right, I gave you guys the work release for jail numbers for December. Work release, we had an average of 17 males and 1 female for a total of 18. Jail, we had an average of 75 males and 13 females for a monthly total average of 88. The quick things, we still have 4 openings in dispatch out of our 9 positions that were allotted. George and I met with one of our dispatchers, and we've contacted a lot of part-time people. So we have about 4 or 5 people that were involved with dispatch in the past that were coming in and working part-time. So it's actually cutting down our overtime, and it's actually making things a little bit safer. We have already interviewed 1 person this year for dispatch, and we're continuing to interview them as they come. We have 5 jailers positions open out of the 21, probably gonna be 6. Here soon, I've heard of a guy that's probably gonna go to Knox County. I have 2 positions open in community corrections, 1 for field officer and 1 for facility officer. We've interviewed 1 guy for the facility officer, and we're in the background phase for that. We have 2 open deputy spots out of the 19, and 2 guys are at the academy. So, they just did their first week. I called them on their way home, and they had 9 people drop out of the academy. After the first day, if you drop out, so their departments are out $4,000. One of our guys is a military person. He's been to their boot camp, asked him how it was, and he's like, "Oh, it's rougher than what I expected." So 15 more weeks, and we'll have those guys out on the road, and a lot of good stories. They neither one of them used the puke bucket yet. So whenever they do their physical tactics, they have a big trash can. If you puke, you have to puke in that and get some trash can. I'm not saying that I saw Derek McGraw's name on there.
You did not.
Name is not on it. I will say that. So, lastly, we didn't have any fatalities that the sheriff's office worked in traffic last year.
Wow, that's good.
Pretty wild. That just brought to my attention before we came in. We worked 489 accidents, property damage accidents last year. We worked 128 personal injury accidents. And conservatively, there's about $6 million worth of damage to vehicles due to the accidents that we worked. That doesn't cost. Got up a little low for us. But good deal. Any questions?
Thank you. Any other department reports? Jail update?
Well, we've got a few things going on. This is only the fourth day that, weather has kept them from working since October of 22. Well, that's really been great. They've had that much time with great weather. Been pretty fortunate there. I don't know if you noticed, like, if you go by on the Main Street, Brookfield or even North Prince, that, they're getting the stone facet put up on the bottom part. So it's really looks nice. They're doing a great job on that. All the roof, a lot of the roofing material has been delivered for the jail pod. The video arraignment, which is important to our judges and prosecutors and so forth. That's been ordered. We'll have 4 rooms that we can use all at the same time. Circuit court, superior court can be on at the same time, so they don't have to do like the wait for each one to get done. That'll change. Our phone system's been ordered and our laundry equipment has been ordered. We're still working on the kitchen equipment, hopefully get that finished, hopefully this week, get it ordered. And so we're moving right along. So,
When do you anticipate the pods?
well, you know, they hoped that they would have it under roof by 31st of December. Obviously, they didn't make it. You know, they're hoping now by the end of January. But like I say, we've been, of course, now I understand where Monday it's supposed to be 6 below zero. So I doubt they do a whole lot of outside work during that period of time. We're still waiting on the windows that come in for the office building. As soon as those windows come in, then they can start.
My one question,
Yes.
on track to tear the old jail down when we get this done?
Well, that's the last word I got.
We'll be able to do it with interest money.
Put that on your checklist. I'm asking every meeting.
That's my response is that's the last thing I got was, that's what was gonna happen. So, you know, if we don't take the jail down, the old jail, current jail, we're gonna be landlocked in 20 years from now. You'll be here. I don't know, I probably won't be, but, and you have to add on, let's say for some, 20 years from now, population goes up, more people in jail. If we don't take that building down, we're literally landlocked at that location. Can't add on anywhere, because there's no place to add.
But for the record, just so everybody knows why I ask this every single month, what he just said locks us in if we try to do something with the old jail. When we picked this spot, we picked it with the understanding the old jail had to come down. So we looked 50 years out. I know politicians don't look more than 4 years out. We actually looked 50 years out to say, this is probably something we need to do. So that old jail has to come down. It's part of the selection process. It's in the minutes everywhere. If there's any plan to do anything other than tear the jail down, you're gonna scream and throw a fit. Just so you know.
Yeah, like I say, we would be landlocked if we, and then the cost of trying to change that building from a jail, we will say an office building, it's gonna be unbelievable.
I think I've made my point very clear on where I stand on it, so. Thank you, George.
All right, thank you.
New business position request, Lisa? Do you?
So when I took over from Judge Penrod, I had 3 court reporters that had over 90 years of experience combined. So the last of the 3 are retiring here in June. That's Melanie. She has 34 years experience all on her own. So some overlap times to train a new person. She's officially retiring June 30th. Is that right? Well, regardless of when it is, she won't physically be in the office after the end of June. May have some vacation days and all that. But what I'd like to do is have it basically a temporary court reporter position created. It's not unusual. We've done this before, to where for that period of time, we have 2 people slotted in that one slot. They have to learn. So that's what I'm asking is to create. Create a new positions. It's temporary, new reporter position. It would start April 1st at the regular pay. It won't be $1,000 reduction or anything because the person is coming over here. take her position is already a county employee that works for Lisa, Nicole. And so, that's why she'll have to in turn ask what she's gonna ask here in a minute. Because Nicole's been with her for. Yeah, so, she was been with her this whole time, her right hand person. So that's really my first request is I need to be at this position. I think that Wendy already has the amount that we figured that we probably need.
We have it in the additionals.
Okay.
14,676.
We need to deappropriate anywhere.
We have.
Okay, that's all in the,
Yeah, it's all taken care of. Christie's on it.
we've got the money that we're gonna take and we're gonna put it. And this is with the understanding that as soon as Melanie runs out of her days, we're not.
We don't have a place to send anybody else, so.
You're at a desk, Spence? Okay. This is
We
just-
have it lined out pretty well. I think we've moved, I used to have shifted them to the magistrate because of the duties, it's just like Judge Meekum shifted to the magistrate. So between the three of us, we're working it out. So we each have the amount of people we need, not too many, not too. So I'm not asking for a new position, just the training period. That's all. Questions about that?
So if I'm looking at this on the additional appropriation request, there's two, one for pretrial services and one for general superior court.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another one.
Yeah, the pretrial services is a mistake on my part, based on where Bree is now. She's a supervisor. She
Gotcha.
just didn't catch it, till when he brought it to attention.
Well, we could probably do this separate. right?
Yeah, she's like, Wendy, you're overpaying me. I'm like.
So that deappropriation will cover both of these requests he's making right now. I know that's at the end of the agenda, but I don't have a problem making a motion on it right now, and handling while he's here so we can get to court.
It's fine with me.
Anybody have any questions for the judge on what we're doing here? I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion for the additional appropriation requests from Fund 1,9600 General Pretrial Services, Personnel Service Line $2,432, and additional appropriation request from General Superior Court Personnel Services 14,676. And in that motion, I'm gonna say we deappropriate Fund 1,0271 General Public Defender Series Line 30,000 in the amount of 17,100.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion?
He reads that so fast by the time I turn the page, I can't.
You don't have it
Right here.
You don't have it in
I
front of you?
do, I'm just trying to figure out
It's
what.
these three right here, not the very bottom one, but the three above the very bottom one.
Oh, okay.
2432, 1476 is what we're appropriating, 17,108 is what we're deappropriating to pay for what we're appropriating. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
The motion in a second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Thank you.
All appreciate it. And Lisa, just kind of tag along with me. I'm not gonna stay, I gotta get to court, but I created her problem. Thanks.
So I don't need you to give me any money because I have my supplemental funds, which is my public defender savings account, and that's not tax dollars, it's my money. So I talked to Christy and Wendy this morning. I just want to do some transfers. I have, part-time line in my supplemental fund. I had 5,000 in there. We had created that when of my girls went on medical leave and we had to have somebody fill in. So what I'm wanting to do is just transfer from my trial attorney fees, $6,900. I want to put 5,000 additional on my part-time line, so I'll have 10 instead of 5. I'm gonna put $500 of it into my FICA and Medicare, $1,400 into her.
You see, that's just not on our transfer list. Oh, this is brand new.
And new.
And this is all your money. They're just out of serious transfer.
Transfer from one to the other side and pay some more for the
Yeah,
overdraft.
serious transfer, and they transfer it, we don't have to motion or advertise or anything.
Yeah, there's no advertising. It's just approving out of serious transfer. I will make a motion to approve her out of serious transfers.
Second.
Please second it.
Aye.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Thank you. Judge Mead? They're on a roll. Don't screw it up.
Last month's on the agenda is salary of probation officer. Remember all last month, and asked for additional 113, and put the budget for this position, and fortunately, I was able to hire someone who had a lot more experience in budget. That's the difference.
And Derek, you remember who that was?
Yes. I do, but I don't know where I forgot. Hold on. Yeah. No, I knew that. I just make sure you did. Is
Destiny,
that in here somewhere? Is this additional we did last month?
you didn't do the additional, it's supposed to come out.
Yeah,
So
get the
you'll have to
addition.
Advertise it.
You know, we'll have to advertise and it'll be a month out. Okay.
I might make a motion that we advertise for 13 for the probation officer salary.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it. And just to go on the record, the probation salary schedule is set by the state. The person he hired qualified at a higher rate than the initial, so that's why we had to do this, which is good. We got seasoned veteran, so. Have you replaced Corey or is it
Right now.
moving that dirt? Okay, so many moving parts when this happens.
Start doing interviews.
Okay, okay.
In fact, I've got 2 positions that's already funded. Her position and one I never filled from last year because, as Judge Craig said, we were trying to figure out where courts need to be and so forth. So I've got to fill 2 positions to chief.
Where?
I thought
Yeah,
Motion second.
motion second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Thank you.
You may be dismissed.
Next up, GIS replacement, Kim.
I am here for Scott. He didn't want me to apologize, but he had a medical appointment that he tried to reschedule. It was a very important appointment and about like 3 weeks, so he had to be there today. So I told him I'd come in his place. Our GIS director did leave. His last day was January 4th. So we are asking to replace that position.
Paid for, so.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a new position, not, this isn't new, but a replacement, they just have to come and get a consensus.
That motion to,
We don't even need a motion, we just,
you need a motion.
bobbleheads, if you're a no, we need to know. Does anybody think we shouldn't replace the GIS?
Is this the guy that they hired on?
Last March. So,
Starting on April, March.
And he,
I'm okay.
is it gonna be under under Scott's again
The budget is under-
Same type thing?
under the-
Not gonna.
but no.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm good. All right.
Oakland City Library Fund request, Julie Elmore.
One.
We take to the, reconcile begin the request for additional appropriations to our, which is our library improvement reserve fund. Basically approval to spend money that we have already saved up. $505,000 for the reservations, renovations. And in that fund combined between our cash and investments, we have $113,000. Which will leave that fund a little thin, but we still have additional funds left in our rainy day operating funds in case.
Do we need to advertise for an additional for them? Is that what the request is?
And you are getting this additional in your improvement reserve fund?
Library improvement reserve.
And it's for capital assets?
It is for capital improvements and, repairs and maintenance.
And the fund is coming from is called what?
Library improvement reserve fund.
Okay, and that's the one with 113,000.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to allow for advertising of $105,000 our library improvement reserve fund that they have.
5 instead of 150.
105,000.
Motion, second. Hannah. Any discussion?
Second.
Oh, you already missed it. Hannah already did, didn't you?
So before we vote, just for the record, in our sheet, it says 150,000. Okay, but we're only gonna advertise 105,000.
It's
105. Maybe a typo here, but we're addressing that last line right now. You're correct.
And I didn't get the motion.
I made the motion.
Motion's Derek and Hannah, second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? 7-0. Thank you.
Them down. Amendment 1, that's for 9 days in already.
Amendment 1.
Salary schedule amendment 1.
Didn't even get us till February.
Okay. No, could not. Because
Yeah, I was thinking about
the original salary ordinance that you signed said work copy,
Oh, no.
so.
It isn't changing numbers, it's just changing the
Well,
name.
it is kind of changing numbers a little bit. In the budget, I thought we were transferring I had that we were putting the E911 coordinator in the general, and we were putting a dispatcher in the E911 budget. We were switching that, which we did put Chris in the 05 budget, but we left the amounts the same. So I just changed the numbers on the number of employees on the 05 budget and the 1222, which it should be highlighted. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it is. So that's 4 in the communications officers in the 05 and 3 in the 911 budget, okay? And then I totally left the new bailiff out of the magistrate. So that's what it is. So no number,
No budgetary issue.
no, just cleaning it up.
Anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve salary schedule amendment number 1. 9 days in.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Any other questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Transfer request, here we go.
I just handed everybody new updated transfer requests and everything.
Is this the end of the year stuff?
A lot of it is, some of it is because people were ready to cover. So,
In the form of a motion, how do you want to do it?
Easiest way, Mike.
I don't think they all have to be read individually, just acknowledge that you've received this and that,
I mean, we've already taken care of the additional appropriation request at the end. So we've got personnel services transfers, we've got out of series transfers, and then we got encumbrances.
I would
Is
just.
that correct?
I would just make a motion that the personal services transfers are approved as written, and then do the encumbrances are just for information. You don't have to add.
No,
anything.
yeah, encumbrances.
And then the additional appropriations, you could do
We've
that.
already done the additionals, all 4 of them.
Yeah, we've already got those. So I would just do it as written, as presented. If anybody wants a copy, I've got it
You
here.
don't take any action. Encumbrances, right?
No, he just,
No,
that's just for,
That's just for information.
it just means they had a bill, they turned it in, we can pay it this year based on last year.
What do you think?
Now I'm doing it. I mean, this document is part of the meeting, correct? So I will make a motion that we approve the transfer request as presented from the auditor's office.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Both of them are the out of series and
Just
the
the-
super small, or just,
We'll do them one at a time. Personal services transfer.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments, discussion? Favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
I will
7-0.
also make a motion to approve the out of series transfer request as presented by the auditor's office.
Second that one also.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. 7-0.
That document is available today, Mike. Anybody here?
Yeah,
Andrew,
anybody that wants to see it, it is available, right?
Oh, this 12 cents. is a little quick.
Just wanted to share with the group, may or may not know, 2 weeks ago, the Federal Reserve Chair told us that we could see through up to 3 interest rate cuts in 2024. Just kind of a backup to around May of 2022. Marianne, encouraged Marianne to get with German American and get with George Balcom at Baker Tilly. Check with Old National on some rates, right? German American's been incredibly good to us since that time. They were able to increase our rate on our main savings account. They've also kept some money invested in treasury bonds and CDs to generate extra interest. And then we also talked to her about utilizing the Trust Indiana account. That's a setup, I think, by the Indiana Bond Bank, but it's a facility that it's completely liquid, and we've been able to make about 5% off of that investment. All of the things that we're talking about, though, the money markets, that Trust Indiana, like the average maturities of notes, like paper that they carry when they're basically loaning money to people for very short terms. The average on that is somewhere between, it's around 75 days. So what we're probably going to start seeing is over the course of the next, starting from December, as those products that we have that we're getting paid on come due, there's not going to be anything in the market for them to go buy with that money that's going to pay that kind of rate. Okay, so we're going to see those rates start to fall off. The solution to that, in my opinion, was to consider adding duration. Like whatever the investment policy statement allows, we try to go out as far as we can so we can preserve getting that type of interest rate ongoing. Now, obviously, we got to keep a bunch of money liquid, so we're going to be kind of beholden to whatever the money market rate is on a large portion of it. But Marianne's been working in the background to make sure that we take advantage of that.
Allow that, extend them on that.
So that's there's a county investment policy statement. So I just encouraged her to work with George Balcom at Baker Tilly. He knows the code very well. I'm confident Jason could direct her, but we want to try to, in my opinion, max out what's allowable with our policy statement. But that policy statement limits most of our investments to 2 years. And so, the way this went, golly, we had back in 06, 07, we were making about $900,000 a year on interest. But the financial crisis in 08 caused those rates to go down, and they've been down ever since. So not only had Marianne never owned investments as treasurer, we'd had 2 treasurers before her who hadn't as well, all the way back to Jim Kolb. So, we looked into that last year and did quite a bit of it, but I was just encouraging her to take some of that Trust Indiana money that's been making that good money and extend the duration on it a little bit. So
Looking at maybe, she came in and talked to me, looking at maybe doing another 10 million to invest in it. So.
yeah, so that just would allow us to lock in more return in 24 and hopefully even into 25. So,
Christie's looking into what we'll need for this year to make sure that we're not going to be cutting ourselves too short.
Yeah.
And Marianne's a little scared about that we can get the money if we have to, though.
But
Trust.
I meant to lead with it and haven't, but because of the work that she did there, we made 1.559 million in interest in 2023. We were a little over $1 million in 2022. So that was nice. And
What was that interest?
1.559 1.59 million.
It's gonna start tapering off though.
It's gonna start tapering off. Yeah, so we're trying to spread it as long as we can, so. That was all I had on that. Are there any questions or?
How do you go? Nothing?
Could talk longer.
You could have, you would have had 3 years experience. You guys need anything? Debbie, I don't know if you guys need anything or not.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.